What's up, guys? Today I'm gonna show you how to shoot a whiskey bottle. What's up, everybody? Welcome to my very first video on how did I light it. In this section I'm gonna show you what equipment I used and how I made my setup to achieve a specific image. So let's start by talking about this picture right here. As you can see, we have a really nice soft gradient on the glass, right? We're gonna start talking about how to achieve this light over here. I just wanna mention, this is a single shot. We didn't shot the glass and the barrel separate. So this is a single shot, one setup. So let's start talking about how I place my setup and what lights did I use. Okay, so I'm gonna create just a new layer so I can draw on top of the image, and then I'm gonna start drawing the placement of my lights. So in the left side we have a big softbox over here. We got a big softbox that's gonna light the left side. Okay, from the right side all we have is a big reflector, a big white reflector. Okay, so this reflector is gonna bounce light and get all of the bottle. Okay, this light is gonna be reflected from this light source on the left side. So basically, light is gonna travel all the way and bounce back. That's gonna give it a little feel to the bottle. So we have our main light over here. This is the main light. Okay, so this softbox comes with two diffusers. One that attaches to the outside of the box, and then we have another diffuser inside. That's gonna soften the light and make it look really nice on the glass. Okay, so we have two diffusers inside the softbox. Okay, now if we shoot the light just like this, we won't get this gradient on the glass. Okay, all we're gonna get is a harsh, very harsh light on the glass, like so. I'm just gonna draw right here. Pretend this gradient is not here. So this softbox won't do the job by itself. Okay, so let's go back. So what we're gonna do to achieve this gradient on the glass is we're gonna add another diffuser in a stand. So we have a stand over here with some clamps. We have some clamps over here. So we're gonna attach a big diffuser sheet over here, and that's gonna soften the light more, but at the same time it's gonna spill light farther away from the glass. Okay, so that's gonna create a bigger source to light the glass and to create this gradient. So once you have this light set up and you have this gradient at the edge of the glass, you're done with this light. Okay, now let's talk about the reflector over here. The reflector gotta be the same size of the softbox. Okay, because you wanna bounce the light to the entire bottle. So make sure your reflector is almost the same size as your softbox. Okay, that way you get the most light bouncing back, and also you don't spill light to the background. So with this light and this reflector, you should be able to achieve these areas over here of the bottle. So it sounds simple, but it takes a little time to set up your lights. You have to take a few shots till you get the right lighting. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so now let's talk about the background light. Okay, now let's talk about the background. What we did, we placed a flashlight over here on the bottom. Okay, we put a strobe reflector, and then we added a honeycomb to the reflector. Okay, so that's gonna spot your light. It's not gonna spill all the way to the edges. So then the light is gonna concentrate in the middle and then fade to the outside. Okay, that's why we get this really nice vignette. So it's a really natural vignette that we are achieving by adding this honeycomb to our strobe light. Okay, now the color that we use here was an orange color. How did we achieve that? Okay, that's pretty simple. Pretty sure you already know how to do it. So we just attach the color gel to the flashlight. Okay, yes, you can achieve this background on Photoshop. If you're shooting against a white paper, you can cut your background and add a gradient, but we're trying to get it right in the camera. Okay, so the less time you take editing, it's better, and the better you can get your picture, that's more credit to you as a photographer. Okay, so forget about Photoshop, try to get it right in the camera. Okay, so that's how we did the background. I'm just gonna step back a little bit, and then we're gonna talk about how did I light the label. So probably most of you have seen these magazine ads where photographers target the specific product by doing a spotlighting. Okay, so that's what we are doing here, because there's no point of not showing the brand of the bottle. Okay, there's no point that you spend all this time if you're not gonna show the brand. Okay, because that's not gonna sell. Okay, so now for this effect we use a snoot. Okay, we attach it to a flashlight, we put a stand like so. You put a stand over here, then we added the snoot and go down to the label. We have our flashlight over here, and then we angle it down to target the label. Okay, so this sounds simple, but like I said, you have to give it a few tries to get that direction correct, because sometimes you're gonna hit the glass, sometimes you're gonna hit the background, or even the base where the bottle is sitting. So we added the snoot, we hit the label, and we get this nice spotlight on the label, which makes it look really nice, really eye-catching, and your eyes go straight to the label, right? That's what the client wants you to see. Okay, this is what the client wants you to remember. So this is the most important thing when you're shooting a bottle or you're shooting any product that you want to show the brand. So that's how we did the setup for this shooting. Now I'm gonna talk to you about the lights, the equipment that we used. Okay, so for the softbox we used just a regular softbox. I won't say any brand because everybody has their own preference, and I'm just gonna tell you that any softbox with a double diffuser will do the job. Then we added the diffuser sheet, which it can be as simple as adding a big sheet of paper. Okay, here on the other side we use just a big reflector, white reflector. You can buy that for 10-20 bucks. It works perfectly fine. You can even put a cardboard, like a white cardboard, it's gonna work the same way. For the background light we use a strobe again, okay, with the strobe reflector, with the honeycomb grid and the color gel attached to the light. Here we use a snoot, which is really cheap for the job that it does because it's wonderful. And for the light, As we only needed a little piece of light, we use a flashlight. Okay, we use a flash. So we don't need as much light here. We just need just a little kiss, and that flash is gonna work perfectly. It can be any flash. Just make sure that you set the power all the way down and you build your way up till you get the right exposure. So that's how the light is. I hope you like this tutorial. I hope I resolved many questions to your lighting setups, and you can leave me any comment on the bottom. I'm gonna try to answer your questions. Don't forget to subscribe, share it, like it, and see you next time.